10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's going on, comic friends? It's Ryan the Colossus Collector back with another episode of Colossus's Spotlight on HeroesCon this time. And I'm joined by a huge group of guests tonight. We're all headed down to Charlotte in a few weeks to HeroesCon, and we're super excited. I thought it would be just great to kind of get together ahead of time, talk about the con, talk about what we're excited about, and so I'm looking forward to a great chat. Of course, you see the boys here on the stream. I'll introduce them all if you don't already know them. Nate from Hollywood Comics. We've got Hagen from Lettuce Comics, Dave from Still Only 35 Cents, Eric from SideQuest Comics, Rich from Big Nasty Comics, Mike from Lunch Money Comics, Rohan from Back in the Game Comics on IG, or the Absolute Game of Nerds here on YouTube, and my buddy Dan from Dan's X-Men Comics. What's going on, fellas? Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excited to be here, man.
Can't wait.
Love it.
Dan,
there's two of me. There's two of you.
There's two of you.
You got to tell. I got two cameras on me. You guys got to tell me which one you like better. You like the slim version? I got it.
This one's a little blurrier, but it's a little.
This is the one.
Oh, wide Dan is good. Wide Dan's good.
Wide.
We've always loved Wide Dan.
Wide Dan. I hope that doesn't become a nickname.
Be ashamed.
So we got lots of guys,
I'll
lots
accept.
of people in the chat. Just gonna shout out Rob's Fat Stacks of Comics. Hope to see you all at the community dinner. He was in. He dropped that comment well before the show started. Thanks, Rob, and I think you will see us all there. Big Nasty's here. We got Derek from Uncanny Derek Comics. He says, some say the real HeroesCon are the friends we made along the way. Too true. Derek Neiman's here. We've got, of course, we've got Richard Westfall saying what's up to everybody. We've got Matt from Empress Comics. He was actually invited to join, but then wasn't going to be able to make it. And then something changed, and I filled spots. And sorry, Matt. We'd love to have you in the chat, though, and we're looking forward to seeing you at HeroesCon. Who else we got? We've got Derek Hammondtree. Hey, all. Thanks for joining tonight, Derek. We've got Dope Comics. What's going on?
Dope.
Hey,
He'll
bud.
be down there.
And we've got, do we got any more? We've got my buddy Bo. What's going on, Bo? He was just recently on my show. Hope you're having a good night, Bo. We've got Brian LCS. We've got JSS Brooklyn. Good evening. Good morning to Dave.
Sir.
Thanks for being here, JS.
Good man, JSS.
And that's the crew. That's the crew for now. So I wanted to start this off. I wanted to ask each of you guys. So it's the opening of HeroesCon. You're just stepping into the con floor. What's your first stop? Where are you going?
I'm gonna go change my pants because I just for sure.
Starting off strong, baby.
Yeah, starting strong.
I love it.
But
Nate, why don't you kick us off?
I really don't know. I think my first order of business, if it's not to go get a signature immediately, like to go get in somebody's line, or to scope that out, like I think that's a valid plan. Like to go to the where the creators are and just see, because I do have a list of people that I might want to get something from, but I kind of just want to take a lap. I just know what I mean. Like I kind of want to see. I want to get the layout. So
Exactly.
that's kind of my first order of business is to take a lap.
Yeah, there's kind of like I mean, don't mean to jump, in line here.
Jump in.
Line, but
Why Dan's just jumping in the party?
Yeah, you can't stop Wide Dan.
Wait a minute. We're all chaotic here.
yeah, that is exactly how it's going to be, like chaos. I feel like for me, I'm going to tell myself everything's fine, but I know it's like there's an advantage to either just going straight to the line that you want to get into and get that over with, like the biggest line, or to search through the comics or the wall books to make sure that you get the first shot at those books. Or you're right, you take a lap, you get the feel of the scene, and then you kind of decide like, okay, where's my time best spent, or where am I, where do you just feel like going? Let your emotions take over, What do you do?
I think, and again, sorry for jumping in, but I think for me, one of the things that's interesting is Heroes keeps throwing curveballs at you. So until last couple of weeks, they weren't doing on-site grading. Now they're doing on-site grading, so that changes what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And then you get a new artist or a new creator that's announced, and that changes what you're going to do. So it's you can't plan. Well, you can plan, but you can't plan as well as you'd like because they keep dribbling out this news.
Do you mean that CGC says that they're going to be doing on-site grading, like you drop their book off and within a day they grade it for you?
They said they're doing that.
Oh, snap.
I don't think you can do it with it. I think you would need the whole weekend, Dan.
And like slabbed? Like
And it'd be
Wow.
you pay a premium. You have a premium though for that turnaround. It's not the same price.
Oh,
That's
okay.
right. It is more expensive, but if you've already cleaned and pressed, sorted your books, you can get it that way.
And you don't need to pay for shipping.
Right.
Yeah.
But you can also just drop books off with them, right? And
Yes.
then get them kind of normal through the mail.
Yeah.
Cool. That's actually a
Cool,
huge thing to consider. I have a few books that I could. I don't know.
Plans as we speak.
The thing is, like, if you get great books graded on site, then you got to bring them home, right? So it's kind of how much room are you going to have? That thing.
Yeah.
For us long haul travelers, it's if it's in your car, it's an easier.
Why I like driving because it
Eric's
does not
all
matter.
over it.
I can buy that life-size Iron Man and just jam it in the back.
I'll be in my
In
Tahoe.
the back,
I can
that
haul
should
it
ride
out.
shotgun with you, dude. Come on.
I don't think
I
my
was
wife
thinking
would
about bringing an
appreciate
empty bag to ship underneath just bring beers in it on the way there, and then come back with comics in it. Is what I was
There
thinking.
you go. That's the plan. The more you empty it, the more you can get in there.
It's an incentive. Yeah.
It's an incentive to drink.
Well, that's good because they don't sell beer in Charlotte.
I'll have to Google that. I don't know if you're being sarcastic.
I think he's being sarcastic.
Okay.
100%.
Hey, Hagen, what about you? Where are you headed?
So I'm of the take a lap persuasion. I'm not really a wall book buyer, but I still do like getting sort of a lay of the land. You can kind of gauge the temperature of different vendors just by sort of walking by them. But then after that, like there are a few people who I might want to get signatures from. I might do that, but really wherever my friends go is where I'm going to go. I really, the kind of stuff that I'm looking for, I can find at any booth, so I'm just here to like mostly hang out with people and talk and have a great time. I do want to go. There is one specific vendor that I want to go to, and it's who I got this Avengers 4 from. I want to go up to them and thank them again. But other than that, like I want to get a Dennis Cowan signature. That's pretty much the big one. But yeah, I don't really have a plan. Just hanging out with you fine fellas.
That really truly will be the highlight, right? Is
right
with everybody and hang out and geek out on what we're getting or what we see or whatever. Rich, besides the whole soiling your pants thing, where are you headed?
My first thing, most important thing is probably Roy Thomas. I want to get a Roy Thomas signature on my.
He's only there on
Conan.
he's only there on Saturday.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, Saturday that'll be the big day, but Friday it will be just taking a lap, getting acclimated about where everything's at, and trying to decide what I want to do and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I like to get Daniel Moore Johnson signature also, but I'm not real big on signatures, but just a couple of people. I mean, it just determines on how long the line is and stuff. But yeah, I just about like Hagen, I just piggyback on what he said. Just kind of hang out and go flow, go wherever the people are going. That's where I'll go. So just go with an open mind and just have some fun, man. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Definitely. I don't know. I might line up for Roy Thomas, but I'm not sure because I'm more into the artists than I am the writers.
Yeah.
So
but
and there's just so many. There's just so many.
Oh, so many. Yeah.
People.
It's hard to choose. Yeah,
it really is. It really is. I just want to answer Derek's question here. The big question is, am I going to do another Avengers style intro video for this?
Can't put that pressure on.
I will tell you that I probably will not, because that video took me a ton of time, and I don't have vacation time right after Terrificon to do that, or HeroesCon to do that. And that video also got demonetized because I got a copyright lock on it. So
I'm surprised that the mouse didn't send the Pinkertons to your house, if I'm being perfectly honest with you.
Not a strike, but just a demonetization. So
wow.
And you know what it was for? It was for the music.
I was going to say, it's the music.
It was for the music. So
wow.
Yeah, but I'll definitely do something fun. I don't know if it'll be quite on that level, but I'll try not to disappoint. Eric, where are you headed?
I have a plan, but it's a loose plan. I like to kind of since I've never gone to this con, I do like to walk around and just get a lay of the land. I walk in, I take the sights in, the immediate sights, that smell of old paper, just to get those juices going. And then I'm really wrestling with the fact that I do not want to spend my time standing in lines. I had a pretty bad experience at C2E2 where my whole time was pretty much in line. So it's like, I do not want to pigeonhole myself into that again. So I do have people that I want to get signatures, one of them being JR, but I end up getting the VIP pass. So I don't have to stand in line for that one. Other than that, though, it's like I want to look around, and I like looking for stuff that is unique and stands out. Like, hey, I've never seen that, because I don't want to basically get caught looking at stuff that I can look at my local stores. I want to see if I can find something that's unique I've never seen before, whether it's a big book or, and I will be guilty of this, going through dollar books, because you just don't know what you're going to find in those. So I'm going to go around, scope out who has discount books, that kind of thing, that you just don't see at the, every month small comic show type of thing, or even the big ones. So that's probably going to be my first day. And then after that, then maybe I'll have more of a game plan of, I want to go see this dealer or that dealer, or go stand in that line, depending on the length of it. I mean, a lot of those signatures I'm going to go after are really going to be dependent on how long is their line. An hour? No, I'm out. I got other things that I can go do. So
don't make fun of my cane seat. Must that sucker out.
Oh, that's smart.
That's a great move.
Yeah.
Is that one of those collapsible?
Send me an Amazon link. I'll buy it.
It's a cane, and then it has like a seat, and it folds up.
I'm just going to be checking. It's got that seat on it, buddy.
Do I?
those plastic ones that like kind of
collapse,
like those old cup things that.
Yeah.
the
It's like
same.
a go gadget seat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like that's like it would be a must if you're
But
planning.
then you gotta have this big like round disc thing carrying around with you, and
Nate and I are just going to take turns giving each other piggyback rides. So
There you go.
That's what friends are for, man. That's the you guys really do. You guys are like true friends.
No, yeah, I did expect you guys to get one ticket and then do the old fashioned trench coat, tall man.
That's how they're doing the press passes. Yeah.
Like I feel like I could be carried in one of those baby things.
You guys, when you see me, will realize that there's no one giving me a piggyback ride.
I know you're paying Colossus. Yeah.
I'm out for those. I gotta haul myself around.
You're giving me and Mike the piggyback rides, Ryan.
That's true. We were talking about that in the chat. We were joking about our hanging out at Heroes, and Rohan posted a photo of Yoda on the back of Luke. And that this is us at HeroesCon, and he's telling me, "Buy you must now." Rohan is a very enthusiastic, peer pressure kind of friend when it comes to buying stuff. So
that's good.
We got Chidmo. What's going on, Chidmo?
What's going on, guys? What's happening?
Hey, what up?
Appreciate you guys having me on.
Oh, my pleasure. Glad you could be on. We're just kind of going around the horn, asking everybody what are they doing right when they hit the con floor for the first time on that first day. Where are they headed first? And so I'm gonna ask Dan. I know Dan's already kind of piped in, so you don't know. You're just gonna take in the chaos.
I usually have like a strategy as far as knock out the things that you that you want to do the first day, just to kind of get them off and then have that flexibility. And then the second day being that whatever's left over that you haven't accomplished yet, you want to make sure that you can do in the second day. But like, I mean, I'll just be kind of like digging through, looking for. Right now, I'm like on the kick of like finding Mark Jewelers. That's just like exciting to just kind of flip through and find them. And yeah, like I'll just keep doing that for now. Yeah, it's just, I guess like it's always just been fun for me to find something hidden in there, like Eric was saying. But that can kind of be done anytime, I feel like. So I probably will just do a walk around and check out all the big books and see if there's anything. There's a couple things on my mind, like I don't have the first appearance of Sabretooth, and it's been a long-term goal for me to get a high-grade giant-size X-Men and like a mid-grade Hulk 181. So, there's a few of those bigger books that are on my list, but I'm not like, forcing myself to make that deal here. Just kind of open. Now, like another question I've been thinking of is like, do I bring a couple of books to trade? But I've never had good luck with that, like bringing things and trading them in person. I just always feel like I always would get a bad deal, or anybody who's like interested isn't really interested, So probably just like try to pack light and just see what I come up with and try to stay flexible. But really, yeah, hanging out with you guys. I mean, like that's what it's all about.
That's gonna be the real fun.
Yeah, that'll be really cool.
Yep.
Mike, what are you doing?
So we're talking first day or the long-term goals here?
Just right off the bat.
Yeah. Well, it really depends when I arrive. So my flight keeps getting moved. But assuming I'll show up kind of like midday, it's hard to kind of plan around.
On the Friday?
Yeah, Friday I'll get there probably noon or 1, I'm guessing, by the time I check into the hotel and stuff. But yeah, get the lay of the land is first, and I don't mind showing this yet. I've always talked about this. I'm getting this signed by as many people as possible, and there's a ton at the show.
Awesome.
So same thing as everyone else says. Yeah, there's a couple big names I expect to wait in line, but hey, if you're walking around and I see, Steve Lealoa just sitting there by himself, I'm going to run over and grab his signature, So that's a big thing. Again, long-term goals we'll talk about later, but I'm really treating this as a social event. I mean, like I like my collection. I find books a lot. Similar to what Eric said, why waste time looking at books when I go to cons all the time? I'm going there to hang out with all of you. I'm looking forward to that. I want to meet people I don't normally see at shows. and that includes all of you. So that's my primary goal. I'm going to be there, look around, but really, I'm just looking forward to that dinner that night.
Ditto, Mike. Ditto.
Oh yeah, and I got questions about that dinner. I'm trying to plan. Do I not eat anything for the whole day? So I stuff myself. Like, is this an all-you-can-eat event? Because I am taking advantage, baby. So Dave, you got to hook me up with the deets there.
I can help you with that. So it's free bar for 3 hours. House spirits, not house spirits, house wine, house beers. It's basically a platter. So it will be all you. Basically, they'll bring a whole bunch of food out, and then essentially you just eat.
Nice. Chicken wings and carrot sticks, baby.
It'll literally be chicken wings, steak, and Caesar salad. Like, so you can go for your
Dave,
life.
you're talking dirty to me, man. Come on.
But yeah, that's
this is gonna be a mess, you know.
Oh yeah.
Here's your chicken wings, comic book guys.
Will the wings be plain and then a selection of sauces and things, or will they be sauce?
I'll bring the Pepto Bismol.
I'll bring hot sauce specially for you.
Oh no, you don't. No, I actually like them plain or like
Ryan is a plain cheeseburger kind of guy.
That's why
Ryan, you are asking the real questions, my friend.
Yeah.
No, dude,
You're
Dave,
drilling down to the heart of it.
Dave, you got to bring some of that Nando's sauce for the chicken.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to him tomorrow and just finalize everything because we're getting close to the numbers. We are still missing. I think 9 people still haven't sort of sorted it out, but we're just going to make the assumption that they will and then go from there.
Well, thanks for organizing all that, Dave.
Yeah, 50 people. I think we've got 50 people just turning up for dinner.
Wow. Good Lord.
So that'll be crazy.
Yeah, thanks for taking that on.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it next year. I think it's
going to be the highlight, and everything's going to be downhill after that. So you're setting the bar really high on Friday night.
Rob just said for him, Friday is all about setting up commissions, and then scoping wall books.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm kind of in that, it's sort of in that same.
So I was going to add to that because I think I was next anyway because I saw Rob's comment, and Rob and I are very similar in that regard. Right, Friday is going to be straight in. I'm making a beeline for Art Adams' store, so I want a commission from him.
That's where I'm going.
So I'm like straight there. That's a non-negotiable. Like Eric said, I think you're the Sunday. I got the Saturday for John Romita's package.
Yeah, it's
so
sold out before I
don't have to worry about that. That's brilliant. My biggest worry with that is, what 10 books do I take?
Oh,
that's the decision.
Eric's got his.
How do you get?
Eric's got them wrapped up in Christmas wrap.
What it's going to be like?
Yeah. So it's just crazy trying to solve that, and then the rest of it is to your point. It's just more hanging out. I will be stopping by. I think a lot of the YouTubers will be stopping by the Comics Curing Cancer booth as well. So that's normally like the sort of hub that everyone goes to and hangs out, and where is like almost like a meeting place as well as.
Yeah.
So if you are going to HeroesCon and you would like to donate, please make a beeline for the C3 stand.
Booth 1766, Rob just provided that was perfect. So
cool.
Yeah, that'll be a great little meeting area or just a place to go if you're waiting on something or whatever. So great for everybody in the community who's there. Dave, I want to ask just on your point of Art Adams, his rates aren't in the breakdown PDF. Do you have any idea what his going rate is for like drawings or anything like that, sketches and stuff?
I do.
Oh,
you
great.
go, because it's been a while.
So I only know this because Chris Cheddar Comics took a photo of his little sign at C2E2 or whatever con he was at. And he does it was 2 options when it comes to commissions. It was a 15-minute sketch for $250 and a 30-minute sketch for $500.
Yeah, that's
considering some of the prices on that sheet. That's actually more affordable than
that's pretty affordable.
Yeah, to be honest, for a guy of his stature. Yeah, I want to actually start a commission like jam piece of just different eras and costumes of Colossus, just like all in kind of like a collage kind of portrait.
Colossus.
Yes. And so Art Adams.
That's brilliant.
Art Adams is like one of
wrong.
my guys that I would like to get that done. And just like there's only so many you could get done within one con. So he's kind of, him and Rick Leonardi are kind of like at the top of my list for that particular project. So I'm probably beelining for Art Adams and gonna check that out and then also check out Rick Leonardi at some point.
I've been thinking of starting somewhere similar. Ryan, I can't remember who sent it to me, but someone had come up with the idea of Nightcrawler, same thing, but he's bamfing.
I think I sent that to you.
You did too.
It's so incredible.
It's such a good idea. I wish I thought of it 3 years ago when I started going to cons, you know?
I know.
But maybe this is the one I started, right? Because that's pretty cool. And it just works with Nightcrawler perfectly, right?
So the piece was it was a danger room scene, and it's just Nightcrawler bamping all over the danger room, and each version was done.
So dirty.
I mean, and it was so well done. I think what the person who commissioned it though, they had the pencils done by each guy, and then they got one inker.
Oh wow!
The whole thing. I kind of actually prefer to have each one done by an individual artist, just to like maintain their style and everything. So that's what I'm looking for. But yes, that piece was one of the things that kind of inspired what I wanted to do with my thing. Roland, so I know you got your sketchbook. Where are you headed off? I know you'll be doing that through the con, but where are you headed first and foremost?
Yeah, I definitely have a very specific plan. So like one of my main goals this year, I've been kind of dipping into the original art game, was to get, and Silver Surfer is my favorite. And so one of my goals this year was to get a Ron Lim Silver Surfer page. Now, if you look online, I mean, they're crazy expensive. So I actually made a recent friend through some other original art who actually knows Ron Lim. And I had thought about, I knew he would bring original art. I didn't know what, but he confirmed he is going to have some Silver Surfer pages. He even confirmed his like starting price, which is like literally less than half of what you can find online. So yeah, I mean, as soon as the doors open, I am beelining it for his table. I'm going to get him to do a surfer in my sketchbook first off. And then while he's doing that, I'm going to look through his book and ideally pick up a page.
That's awesome.
Get first shot at that.
And are you gonna try and get him to do anything in your sketchbook too?
Oh yeah, no. While I'm looking through the book, I'm gonna have him definitely do a surfer in my book. And then I have there's definitely a few others I want to get. I mentioned this in our group, that group thread, like the prices that are in that guide are, I thought, quite a bit more expensive than Terrificon last year. Like Terrificon, I couldn't believe how cheap it was, and I got like 12 sketches in my book. Whereas like this year's going to be like a couple. Like I definitely want to do Lim's, definitely, there's no question. I don't care what it is. He's going to do one. And then Art Adams is probably my number 2. And so I may do like Art Adams beeline straight first thing on like Saturday or something like that, if I already do Ron Lim on Friday. And then I'll kind of feel it out from there. Cause again, like again, Terrificon, I feel like most of the artists were literally $100 that I got. And like here, it seemed like everyone was like a minimum 200. So it's like, I can't do as many. Yeah,
for sure. I'm the same thing with the commissions. It's like, I can't do too many because it's just going to break the bank. Like one guy I'd like to get on my jam piece is Greg Land, and get him to do Colossus in his Juggernaut state. But I think it's going to cost me between $450 to $900 to get him to do it. I don't know.
Yeah, like one of the guys I wanted to do was David Finch, and I saw his price was $700 for a head sketch. I was not happening.
Yeah.
I think he does stuff similar to Adams, though. At the table, he'll do like a 15-minute to a like 30-minute, and I think it ranges from like 150, 200 up to like 500.
So on that guide, it showed like remark 125, headshot 700, and then full body was like, I don't know, 1500 or 2K or something like that.
I'm just putting it out there right now. I will do a headshot for 450. Out the door. Duty free.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take you up on that. Hagen. Maybe you can do a Colossus for me.
I am curious if anyone has seen him before. Another kind of guy I want to get a surfer from is Trad Moore. His price is not in that guide. If he even does them at cons, I have no idea. But that's someone else I want to check out at least.
Yeah, worth asking anyway. I feel like a lot of the people, if their information isn't on there, it probably just happens to come down to how much time they have or what they're willing to take on.
Yeah.
I'm honestly just going to be fanboying out with all you guys, man. Getting to meet all you guys is just going to be crazy for me. I mean, I've only been doing YouTube since February 3rd, and I've watched you guys, so I'm really going to be fanboying out. So I got to figure something out. I'm going to try to, I think you guys did it at HeroesCon. I got to figure something out to get everybody to sign something.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's something.
Hagen, you're going to have your thing, right?
Yeah.
Hagen, I've been trying to find mine.
I just can't figure out what book I want to do it on yet, so I'm trying to figure something out.
Ryan, I'm bringing this to pass on to you at 6 months for me, so it's coming to you next.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Yeah, I've got mine. I was trying to find mine the same as Hagen. We've both got generic comic books, so we'll be pushing them out to everyone, getting as many signatures as possible.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess Friday night would be the night to do that, huh?
Yeah.
Seems like it.
I got to think of what to bring.
Yeah, me too, Mike.
Just get the menu at that restaurant, Mike.
Rob's a Heroes veteran. He's already got 5 commissions lined up.
Wow.
In advance, and we'll still add a few more.
Wow.
All
Daddy Rob, can I get a loan?
All Rob has to do is flash the mustache, and people line up to give him commissions.
Can I give you a commission, please?
I had a question for everyone, and this is one thing that I try and do. So the artists or the creators that you're meeting, the books that you're taking, I try and throw curveballs, right? Yeah. So they don't not the usual. Don't take the usual stuff. Has anyone take? So I'll give you. I'll do a starter for 10. So I'm taking this to Art Adams.
Nice.
Nice.
That's
very
what
rarely. Yeah, there you go. Eric's not right.
And when he saw this, he kind of gave it a chuckle, and he kind of flipped through it a little bit, and was like, "Oh yeah, I remember doing this." So he got a kick out of it.
Yeah, awesome. I think trying to do that is always useful for some of these creators.
It's a good icebreaker, is what it is, really.
I get Roy Thomas. I got a couple of odd books of his. I'm gonna have him hit up too, besides the Conan. So
this is
I don't know if I will.
Super.
But I was gonna have Jim Shooter sign this terrible Marvel graphic novel of Dazzler.
There you go.
Not Nate yet?
That tracks for you, Nate. Though that's right up your.
But this is really bad. Like, I don't know if I want to pay $20 for a joke. Essentially,
I'm gonna do Starbrand and pull that one on JRGR and.
Oh wow!
Nice.
That's a good one, Dave.
Yeah.
This one isn't like a deep cut or anything, but this is one of those books where they got a ton of artists and different creators on it. So I'm in the process of getting it all signed by different guys. It's just kind of a random X-Men book, but I'm gonna get it signed by Leonardi and DeFalco. But I already got Jim Lee and Silvestri, Klaus Janson, Michael Golden. They all work on that book. So that's kind of my project book that I'm bringing. Shinmo, where are you headed right out the gate?
I don't even know, to be honest with you. And I'm going to be so tired from the drive. I'm just going to be in like a state of like, all right, let's just do something here. I got thrown into that chat with all you guys. I can't wait for Friday night. That's what I'm literally top tier. I can't wait. Because I know some of you guys, I don't know a lot of you guys. I'm pumped to meet a bunch of people. I'm going to drag Broke Boy Comics with me. He's in the car, so he's just coming with me. He has no choice.
Nice.
Noah's coming?
Oh, Noah's coming. Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Picking his ass
I
up
saw
Wednesday
somewhere
morning.
that he was on the fence, but I guess you're
there was some stuff with his work, but it all worked out. I'm picking him up early Wednesday morning. We'll be down there by Wednesday midnight and good to go.
Oh wow! I went Wednesday right away. That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm pumped. I'm definitely gonna hopefully pick up some more commissions. I already have 2 in the works, already set, paid for, which is great because I don't have to think about it. It's already done.
Who do you have already lined up?
I got one coming from Daryl Banks, which is great, and then I got one Drew Zucker. I love Drew Zucker's art. He does like the Kanto run and stuff like that. So I have one coming from him as well. I hit up a couple other people. I always try to get them in advance if possible, just because, you know, they have a little bit more time to work on it, and they seem to always appreciate it. Handful of people didn't get back, and some people were already full, which happens. So I'll try to get a few more at the show. Adams is up there. I've met him before, but I've never gotten a commission or anything from him. There's a few people up there. And then honestly, I have no other than like a couple of SIGs. I have a couple books, a couple Star Wars cards that I want to get signed too, but it's going to be a lot of just kind of walking around, probably buy a bigger book or 2. I've been saving for a while. So it's going to be that tough line because shortly after, I mean, it's 2 months, but then Terrificon's right there too. So I got to kind of try to, cut the funds.
What are the big books you be eyeing?
I mean, there's a few. I wouldn't mind picking up a few more of the early Silver Age Flash for that run. There's a couple that I still need to knock off that are pretty expensive. A couple early X-Men would be nice as well. But really, I'm kind of one of those people that I'll fill some runs, but then when there's a book that I'm like, ooh, I've wanted that for a while, and if it just catches my eye and the right, price and stuff like that, it's just kind of, if the money's in my pocket, I'm screwed because there it goes.
I like you.
Yeah. So it just, I can't wait. I'm excited. I mean, I'm driving down, which is great because it's good and bad. Because it's going to be on my own schedule, but at the same time, like, ooh, I can fit in that in the car. Oh, cool. Let's get another short box in the car. Cool. Let's just keep filling it up. So that's dangerous, but I'm excited for it. Yeah. But and I'm the art is, if I can buy a couple pages, because I don't like buying pages from dealers. There's nothing wrong with it. It's great. Yeah. But if I can buy it directly from the artist, I'm all for it. So between the commissions, I know I've met Dan Jurgens a handful of times. So if I can pick up a published booster gold page, I'd be thrilled. Trying not to spend all my money in the first 2 hours of the show. That is the goal.
Don't blow it too early, because you never know. Something like Best of Show shows up late Saturday or early Sunday, and you blow all your money. Oh,
that, and then honestly, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but Saturday night, I can't wait for the art auction. Am I going to be able to afford anything? No, but I'm going to be like throwing up bids.
I'm going.
Like, oh yeah, cool. The next thing you know, I'm gonna be like, oh crap, I didn't actually mean to bid, and now I'm out $1,000.
What I just saw that on the art auction. What are the details on this art auction?
I believe it's at the Westin.
It's at the Westin, yeah. It's in the evening, and it's like a huge original art auction.
Yeah,
white glove event. Huh?
So it's pieces of art that they do. They all the artists, all the people, anyone can donate actually to it. So you can put your own piece of art in if you really wanted to. And everything goes.
Agate.
There you go. They do the drink and draw.
Finally, my stick figures have a chance to shine.
That would actually be a fun idea, is to get a blank cover and get everybody in the community to draw part of a jam piece on a cover. Just 5 minutes. Do something on this page.
Be pretty.
When do they do the drink and draw?
That's Friday, I think.
That's Friday.
In the bar area.
Okay.
I'll be there.
That sounds fun.
Nice. I was just gonna say, like, the one guy I do also would have gone to is JR, but he's gonna be at Terrificon. So I'm either, and there's a handful of other artists like Mike McCone and a few other I can't think of. But
Mike McCone I just met him, the nicest dude ever. Also didn't realize he was British. Or Scottish, I should say. He's Scottish. Had no idea.
I bought
no
a
idea.
piece. I bought a piece of art off of him earlier this year, but yeah, he does some pretty nice X-Men work that I'm gonna try and maybe get a commission from him in at HeroesCon though. Just limit, and just because the list at Heroes is just like so vast, you know,
crazy.
Any I can kind of like delay until later in the year, I'll do that. So
The good thing with JR, he has a bunch of stuff pre-done. Just if you've ever met him, literally in front of him, he's got headshots up to like full figures. They're expensive, but if you're looking for a Spider-Man or Wolverine or Daredevil, he's going to have them out. And I think it's like 150 for like a head. I think it's like 550 for a half, and it gets more expensive from there. But he has a ton of them just done and ready to go.
yeah, he said that was part. Was that part of the VIP thing too? That you get some kind of original
Yeah,
sketch?
you need an original headshot, and then there's a Spider-Man full print that we all get, and then up to 10 books.
Yeah, I was very close to doing it, and then I delayed, and then I went back and looked, and it was sold out. So I was like, oh, well, I'll see him at HeroesCon. So, Timo, you talked about what we're hunting for. I'd love to hear what everybody's like looking to get book wise, or even just their number one target, and then anything else that they're kind of hunting down. Feel free to jump in, whoever wants to go.
Action Comics 1, you know, maybe an FF 1.
Why
Just
not?
little things.
Yeah,
I'm
got
looking to
filled
buy
out.
Alex Ross's birth certificate. I think that would be a really cool pickup.
Signed by Alex Ross himself.
His little feet print.
So I had a couple of books on my list, but I'm blaming Chinmo for the 3 Men in a Basement comic swap last
You're
weekend.
welcome.
Yeah, so you budget for this. I was gonna fly. I am flying, obviously. So I didn't want to bring a ton of stuff. I'm not driving, so I said, I'll get like one book. Maybe I'm going to hang out. I'll get my Heroes for Hope signed by a bunch of people. I'll get one book. But when there's a really good deal, and that's what happened at the 3 Men in a comic swap, and I literally had the thought process of I can buy this good deal right now and not have to worry about. I can drive home with it, or I could save the money to buy an expensive book at Heroes and fly home with it. And I chose the lesser of two evils. So the video is coming out on Monday, but I'll basically explain that I'm going on the cheap, man. I'm going to hang out with people, little things, nothing too big. I'm going to be okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with that. But don't be looking for me to be the big spender at this show. So,
But Mike, you can be that big spender because you don't have to fly home with it. I'll just drive it home and drop it off for you.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, I'm happy to help. I just want to help.
You're enabling.
Plans are changing in real time.
I'd like to find the anniversary border edition. I need the Ewoks, the Muppet Babies, and Care Bears.
Aren't those like the hardest ones to find?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
and the most
expensive.
expensive.
So
And the
Rich,
most-
you, me, and Nate are going to be fighting over those.
Yeah.
'Cause
If you
I'm
find that Ewok, I'm throwing fists.
I wanted the Muppet Babies one forever. I didn't even know that it was expensive. I just wanted baby Kermit in a top hat.
If I get those three, it completes that whole run, so that'd be nice.
I have that Ewok one. It's not easy to track down.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
I just saw it recently on somebody either just got it or it was
Was it JP that just got it?
Maybe.
I would take
I don't know. I
copy.
can't remember where I saw it. Somebody just got it, or I saw it in a sale. But
As long as you can read the word Ewok, I'll be fine. The condition doesn't matter.
In the border, you need some part of the border so we know what it is.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Now we all know that you're looking for it. So
All right.
we're in the boxes, then we see it. We'll
that was a fun thing at HeroesCon, though. Everyone kind of had a book or two, and we were like, yeah, all hands on deck. Like, oh, hey, Rohan is looking for this. Quick, can you send out the APB? The only hard part is finding that place. Like, we're in booth 240, and we're kind of near the pillar. Which one? It's really hard to find the booth. But, yeah, that was fun, because then if you have something you have, 50 sets of eyes on, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Right. And Heroes looks even bigger.
Way bigger.
Floor plan. It's like there were so many booths. I was just like, oh.
I was just looking at the list of there's so many guests. how are the comic books vendors? Like, what are the numbers like there?
They're awesome. So this is I'm making the arduous drive of about an hour and 45 minutes to get to this place.
I'm so jealous.
I went to school around the area. I've got a bunch of friends that live there. I'm crashing on a couch to stay there rather than spooning with Nate in the West End all 3 nights. But the last time that I went, it's sort of like separated into halves. Like the main floor is like kind of split down the middle. And one half is like all of the artists, all of like the non-comic vendors. The other half of the floor is pretty much comic book stuff. And what it sounds like is that it's like what it sounds like I'm saying is that it's only a half comic book show. It's plenty. I swear to you, it's plenty. Like it is a very, very heavily focused on that, and there are deals to be had.
Killer.
It's a great show.
Yeah, Rob just said 70 plus comic vendors. So no chance every book.
It might be easier for me.
You're not getting all of them.
But Eric and I want to try.
Yeah. So then that will probably be the first thing I do. Then I'll just start at the first spot and then just try to work my way through it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to be on the hunt for an X-Men 4.
Very nice.
Good book.
That's kind of the big book I want to get this year. Again, like Dan said, I'm not going to force it. Because they're
out there. You'll get yours.
You know, but it would be cool to get it there. And then I also need an X-Men 2, so that's also on my radar.
That's a big burrito.
And potentially, both are pretty big burritos. But if I were to be able to get both, and then there's just one reprint I need left, and I'll complete my 1 to 300. So that would be cool to do at Heroes. But again,
what reprint?
You're 3 books away from finishing that run.
Yeah.
Wow! Congratulations. That's awesome.
Ryan, what do you have any like minimum requirements for these books, like certain grade, or what are we looking at here?
You know what? I haven't even decided on the 2.0 or on the 2.0. On the 2, I would be. I'm cool with the pretty low grade as long as it's presenting well. Same with the 4, but I'd like to get the 4 as high as I can, possibly. Like, if I could get a 4 to a 4.5, that'd be awesome. But I'd be good with the 3.5 as well. Yeah, we'll see. Or I'll see a 1.8 that looks like 7.5, and I'll be happy with that too. So we'll see.
When I'm finishing a run and there's only a couple more issues I have left, I get way less picky. I'm like, I just want to finish it out, and just to be like, okay, I'm done doing that thing now, and then you feel lost, right?
But I would imagine though, Dan, like in Ryan's case, right? Like it's like 2. Yes, it's X-Men 2, but like X-Men 4 is like the next biggest book. So like I can understand why like that one he wants to be a little bit more picky on.
Yeah. That's exactly it. But I'm also just, I'm kind of savoring these last couple, like it's been a fun hunt. I mean, I'll still always be on a journey to kind of upgrade and stuff as, time goes. But obviously my goals and focus will shift us some other books and stuff. But we'll see what happens. It will be exciting to get at least one of them at Heroes, and then I'm always on the lookout for I got my my Warlock and Submariner runs are really close to finish too, but I'm really picky with those runs, so I really want high grade on that, and then whatever else just tickles my fancy. I've also always wanted a Foom 10.
Nice.
But I don't know if I got the money for that this year.
When
I saw it for 4K at Terrificon last year, I was like, maybe
that was a 9.4 though. That's
well, I want it pretty high.
Yeah.
but not that high, I guess.
But yeah, it'd be between like the X-Men 4 or the Foom.
Yeah, I'd rather upgrade my GSX at that point.
I think there are two big things that I'm looking for, and if they happen, great. If they don't happen, then whatever.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate
bye,
it.
Rob.
Have a great night. See you at Heroes.
One of them is Swamp Thing 1. I really want to get a copy of Swamp Thing 1. Like low grade, don't care at all. Doesn't matter to me. And the other one is a Jack Kirby signature. I have lucked into getting I say lucked into. Dope from Dope Comics was very, very generous and gave me a Joe Simon signature. Somebody else in this chat has said he's going to give me a Stan Lee signature. I'll see if he follows through on that. I'm not going to hold him to it. That's why I'm not naming him right now. You beauty, you absolute beauty. I will
Wonderful
go
man.
down under on you. Those are pretty much like the big ones. Those are pretty much the big ones. There's other like smaller stuff. Like I really want to get a Transformers 8, like the first appearance of the Dinobots, because I'm an idiot, I guess. And Brute Force 1 through 4.
Oh my god!
Yes,
I love how Nate just that's the one he gets pumped for, man. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Anything obscure, I love it.
Oh,
Mechanized Dolphin, come on.
And if I could find a
So
first
good.
appearance of Jeff the Land Shark for like a reasonable price, because it absolutely shot the hell up. Like I had the opportunity to buy it for, I think on my comic shop it used to be like $3 or something like that, and now you can't touch it for like less than 150, which is
gold,
categorically insane. But yeah, I just random stuff. And Ryan, you said that you were 3 away from finishing your run. I am 3 away from finishing mine. All issues of Cap Volume 1. So that I want that done before Heroes. Actually, I don't even want to be thinking about that at Heroes.
Wait, which one is it?
What are you missing?
The Cap one, right?
Oh, is
Cap
that starting
Volume
at,
1.
Is that starting at 101 then?
It's starting at 100 and goes
100,
to
that's what I meant.
454.
Sorry, yeah, 100. That's what I meant.
Yeah. No, I am not 3 away from finishing the Golden Age. Cap run.
I was like, whoa.
No, I'm.
He's not a wall book guy.
That is why he's staying on a couch at Heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about 70 away from finishing that run.
On that Jack Kirby, I guess it would be in an ideal world, it would be on a Cap book.
In an ideal world, it would be on a Cap book, but also like any of just the weird stuff that he's done, like a New Gods book would be really, really cool.
But Hagen, let me ask you this question. So, do you want it raw?
Don't care.
Well, because
if it comes to me graded, then
Jack Kirby
great.
always signs the inside, so you'd have to be like opening books up to find this.
Yeah, and that's like I have a couple of the books. I have a couple of books. My Mike Zeck book is signed on the inside. I didn't know that it was a. No, I did know that it was a signature book. My Mike Zeck book is signed on the inside. And I like things like that. Like I
was really just wondering. So you're gonna be like opening books up looking for this.
If they'll let me, sure.
Yeah, what up, Noah?
They are peruse.
Eric, what are you hunting?
So I'm always on the lookout for my X-Men books. I'm getting there too. I think I just got 2 this month, so it puts me at like 32 left for the full run. Most of the ones I need are under 20. I have the big ones under 20. Well, I can't say I have the big ones, but I have like the Sentinels run, and I have like, number 9. I think I have number 7, but I'm always on the hunt for those ones. I don't care about grade on those, preferably raw because they're a little more affordable. I just want to complete the run, but I'm going to keep working, I think, on like my goal list for this year. I got about half of it done, so I still need a couple of like the first appearances that I need. Like I'm going to be really looking for the Spotlight with Ghost Rider's first appearance. That damn book has been avoiding me for like a year and a half now. Every time I find it, it's either graded, which I don't want to grade it because nothing else I have is graded for that run. Or it's just
One to have graded though, if there is one.
Usually they're way overpriced, and I'm like, I am not spending.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that.
So that's, I don't know if I'm being too picky about it or what, but it's just like I see these, and they're always carbon copies of them. I can't find that nice balance that I want, so that's gonna probably be my main one that I'm gonna be hunting for. You know, and I'd like to get at least one big book. I mean, if it's not that one, I kind of thought this year it'd be neat to get like an old Journey into Fear, or you know, an old 40s book. Like I like the Black Terror. I'd love to get a book where he's whipping some Nazi butts on that. You know, it's just that artwork from that era fascinates me because it's so different from anything that we have today. Other than that, I don't know. I want to have fun and try to find stuff that I've never seen before, whether it's a cheap dollar book or a wall book, something fun and different that stands out to me for some reason or another. I'm not going to be looking just for Marvel or DC or just anything really. It seems like lately when I do go digging, the stuff that I find that perks my interest are like those indies. I have a real special place for those 80s indies that are all black and white. Artwork is god awful, but it just takes me back to that time period as a young kid discovering comics and this writing, and it's just like, oh my god, this is so much more than just superheroes.
So then, like TMNT 1, Eric.
Love that, Eric. Love it.
Or he means like the eyeball kid or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the eyeball kid.
I gotta imagine it's hard for you to find stuff because you've got so much stuff. You just got it all.
I do have a lot of weird stuff, but I do have a little bit of things that I'm looking for. Like you, I'm going after Submariner. I still need a proper #1. I just have that reprint one. So
Ada help you on that one, or I mean Hagen will.
Yeah, Hagen will help me with that. You find him, Hagen. I'll take them out of your eyesight.
Derek makes a good point right there too.
Be careful with raw Spotlight 5s with all the black on the cover. Lots of unscrupulous people with
right. Valuable book. If it's not slab, definitely got to look at it as if you're looking for whenever I'm checking like a raw expensive book, I try to go with the mindset of there is something wrong with this. Try to find where that thing is.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially
that's always been a book I really want to at some point. I prioritize some of the X-Men books, but that will be soon.
It's one of the few I need left for all of the Ghost Riders. I have almost everything for Ghost Rider up to the modern, and it's just those elusive ones from back then. They just weren't taken care of. So either you're gonna find them like super mint, or you're gonna find them so beat to hell that you probably don't want to spend the money on them then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nate, you hunting?
I am kind of like what Eric said. Like I want to go home with one big book, but I want everyone to understand that big book is a relative term, and I collect DC. So I'm not in the same sandbox as you guys. So I'm thinking like
more for you.
Pie in the Sky would be like there's a Superboy that's the first Bizarro, but that one can be pretty pricey. More fun ones might be like the Lois Lanes that are important for Silver Age Catwoman or the Race Swap cover. Honest to God, anything like 10 and below Lois Lane that I don't have would be awesome. And like affordable super pets. If I could get the first Beppo the Super Monkey or first Streaky the Super Cat, I'd be pretty happy. I know you're saying, what about Comet the Super Horse? I got that.
We were all thinking it.
You were. I know. What else? Hagen and I both like kind of are ready to start hunting some Star Spangled War stories that have the dinosaurs fighting World War II vehicles.
Yeah.
I forgot about those.
Yeah, I mean, come on. But honest to God, like now all I can think of is Brutal Force. I really I hope if any like vendor is watching right now, please bring as many sets of Brutal Force as you can. I think that's
it's got a
be the
dolphin in a mech suit and a kangaroo riding a flying Segway. Like, what more do you want? It's a perfect comic book.
It is Animorphs on steroids. We need this. But yeah, I mean, I want to have like a key, to me, something that's important to me to bring home that like will remind me of not just that I got this thing, but like that I had this experience. Because, I mean, I'm really excited
to go along with that, Nate. Like, I was thinking that you're right. Like, I just remembered how it feels when you bring home like a stack of books that you paid $20 for or whatever, and then you are like, I didn't get
roll in it.
You don't really remember any of those, but you just, if you would have put some of that toward, just at least one that, whether it fit your collection better or you're just like, oh yeah, this was a childhood memory. It doesn't have to be expensive, but just one that you're like, this is one that I'm really excited about having in my collection. Yeah. And I feel like I always, bypass that for just this was a good deal. This was a good deal.
I exclusively buy comic books that I think will make me happy. It's whether, I mean, it's not a key. It's just like, we've all got a hole we're trying to fill, Dan. And
that's good. I just hate myself. That's good that you're following your dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I see a cover that's just ridiculous, but it makes me laugh, I'm going to buy it.
Well, that's the other thing is that Hagen and Dope and Eric and I were having, and I think anybody's invited to participate in the weird off.
Rich is
yeah. Every I don't want to compete against Rich. He finds some weird crap. But like every day we kind of want to come together at the end of the day and see who found the dollar book type stuff. Like who found the weirdest book today? Because I just think that's what I like the most is to giggle about this stuff that got made, but like to find people who celebrate it the same way I do is pretty unique.
Sweet. Freaky. We'll see what we can find.
I like it.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, I think you're gonna win, Rich. You find some weird stuff.
God, I know. I felt like I had game until he started doing some of the stuff he's got.
Just had a internet surge. Everybody just started black wheels going on. I got a little scared. I never have internet problems, so that's I'm glad that passed.
Spoke too soon.
Just joking.
Yeah.
Oh, we're in charge.
Ryan goes down.
Nope, he is.
Right?
I was just joking, man. He is stuck.
Yeah.
It could be a worse pose he's stuck in, though. I mean, he could have a goofy face. He's all right now.
It could be worse. Definitely could be worse.
All right, so everyone, you heard it here first. Ryan is taking offers on his entire Colossus collection. Every Colossus book that he owns, he's selling right now.
It's called the Colossus.
Chat.
That didn't work like the collage thing.
It's his Colossus stummy bag.
Yeah. And boards.
Chinmo, are you hunting anything?
Yeah, I'm always hunting stuff. It's always, I'm a bargain hunter. So if I can get a good book for like a nice deal, I like to, bargain, trade. I'm putting together my Silver Age Flash run. My whole run. I'm just missing the Silver Age stuff at this point. I finally finished off my Justice League Dark characters, which is great. I finished off a lot of my Marvel stuff like a while ago, so now it's only like if I find the first Ghost Rider for a decent price, sure. There's a couple like those bigger ones. I wouldn't mind finishing off a bunch of. I have like 2 or 3 runs that I'm trying to finish. Like I collect. I'm a big Turtles guy.
Oh,
so any of the Kevin Eastman covers, especially on the IDW run, I think I'm only missing like 10 of them at this point. And they're just like the lower number ones that are like the 1 in 10s from back in the day, so they're just harder to get. So I wouldn't mind actually digging and finding some of that stuff. And actually, this might be the first time I try, because I'm not a slab guy. I mean, I got as you can see, just thousands of books behind me. I have less than 10 slabs, but I actually might try to upgrade one or two that I have. Like my first Satana, I wouldn't mind getting a little bit higher, stuff like that. But you know, I'm definitely gonna get the art, but I'm gonna be hunting. I wouldn't mind going home with a first Grodd. Even though
cool.
he's not on the cover, and you got Pied Piper with that goofy cover, or a 123 Flash 2 Worlds would be nice.
Oh,
Dave, we got to compare our Justice League Dark collections at some point, because where do you draw the line? I get all the obscure ones for Volume 1, but once you hit Volume 2, it's a different game.
It is. So I have I got when you think Justice League Dark, I got Zatanna, I've got Constantine, I've got Swamp Thing, both Swamp Things. I got the House of Secrets and the Swamp Thing one. I got Etrigan, Shade the Change. I got stuff like that. And then if I find the other ones, cool, they're not like Blue Devil is easy to find, stuff like that. But really, I kind of those main ones. When you think about, was it the Swamp Thing annual? Basically all those guys.
Yeah.
I got First Dead Man. I got all those guys. So.
You get the really obscure ones in there too. But the reason I say that is because the highest DC book on my list is not a realistic one to get. It's First Detective Chimp.
I actually, he's like the one I'm like, if I ever find it, it's never going to happen.
That's a ghost. That book is a ghost. I've never seen
what
that book.
What book is that, Mike?
That's Rex the Wonder Dog. I can't remember what number it's 4.
I think it's a 4. Yeah, I was going to say 40 for some
1953, something like that. Yeah, it's our late 50s. It's a tough book.
Yeah, that's always been one kind of how I feel about my Turtles one. I have the entire Turtles run except for a first print number 1, and I'm like, if ever I'm going to find it, it's going to be at a random garage sale or flea market somewhere. I feel the same way about that book.
Yeah, it's number 4 from 52. Yeah.
Adventures of Rex.
And Wonder Woman's on the second volume too. So just
that's also why I haven't dived into the second volume. I'm going to take my monster creatures. Wonder Woman would be great, but again, unless I get lucky at a garage sale or something like that, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, Man-Bat's in volume 2. That's doable. That's not too bad.
I have a Man-Bat. I do have. I broke the bank with the House of Secrets though, so now I'm like, cool. That runs.
I remember when you got that. I was there.
At the time, it was the most I ever spent on a book. But now, actually, there's a couple of showcases I would like to get. I finally picked up my first Adam Strange, so I wouldn't mind picking up a 20 first. Rip Hunter would be nice.
Nice.
I'm a big DC. Honestly, I do Marvel and DC, so it's just it's hard to. I do a lot of indie stuff. I collect too much, as most of you guys probably feel the same way. But it's honestly, Phantom Stranger would be. I have Phantom Strangers. I'm seeing Terry in the chat. I have this Silver Age, but I mean, again, those Golden Age books. Whew.
Well, that's why I get the Silver Age is my olive branch, right? So I get Phantom Stranger. Actually, I still need that one. So you get the first Silver Age Phantom Stranger, right?
That's was a Showcase 80, I think.
First Silver, Dr. Fate's another one, right? Mm-hmm. You go for the Silver. You cannot get in Golden Age Dr. Fate for some.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, no, I'm fine with the Silver Age version for now. But.
That's why I haven't collected Batman Rogues, because I love the Riddler cover, but the original, I'm like, I can't do it. That's also why I'm happy. A lot of my runs, for Marvel, I did a long time. I got all of the runs I needed. Now it's just some of those bigger keys that hey, if I get a good deal or buy a collection, I'm just gonna keep it. Yeah. So I am nervous for the wallet though, as I feel most people probably are.
Are you bringing?
How do you?
Are you? Is it okay? So I'm trying to go with a budget. I'm trying to be good and not get in trouble when this is over. Because
famous last words.
But it's expensive enough to get there, right? Your travel there, the hotel, it feeding yourself. It's not gonna be cheap just to exist for the 3 to 5 days that you're gonna be there. So
I've been doing cons for so long. I have to take that out of it.
Do you? But do you have a dollar limit? Like, do you have this thing, and you're like, this is my ceiling, and I'm going to stay here because that's what I'm trying to tell myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting to see who's going to be the devil on my shoulder and say otherwise. But like,
I'll figure out the damage after the show.
Yeah,
you have 50 people to choose from to be your.
Right.
Yeah, it's too.
I was going to say, like, as an addendum to that question, like, what's your dollar limit, and also, how do you keep from just spending everything day one? Like, you see something that you want day one, I want it, and then, yeah, how do you keep from doing that?
Well, just that one part I want to mention, Nate. The problem with traveling too is that you have the justification in your head, which many of you have already said. I'm going to get one big book. If it was a local show, you're not going to do that. You feel like you need to make it worth it. I'm already spending, $400 for the plane ticket plus hotel. I might as well get something big. That's not true. That's sort of a fallacy. I feel like. I mean, David's in a different area, right? For David, it's
Ryan.
CCGC. He's flying, across the world. It's different for David. I think David's the person we should be asking about this.
But why? Why? Just because he's going across the world? I mean, we're all going halfway across the country. If he can justify it, we can.
Right. I mean, it's true. But I'm of the opinion, like, you go to have the good time. You're paying for the experience, and that's why I try not to. The whole one big book thing I said it earlier, but it made no sense to me.
I guess I'm trying. I'm not trying to justify. I'm just saying, like, part of the experience to me is bringing home a keepsake of some kind.
There you go. That's it.
So, and that doesn't have to be a big dollar book for me.
Well, my keepsake is your guys' signature on the same book. So.
But then you're gonna have the experience, and we're in a unique position in that we all create a literal visual memory that can exist online forever. I mean, like, you're gonna have the best souvenir ever. Whenever I want to think about Terrificon, I don't look at the menu there. I don't look at my books. I watch Ryan's opening to the Terrificon video to watch everybody in the collage. Like, that's the best thing. That was it. That's the best souvenir. And it cost me nothing. It only cost Ryan 3.5 weeks of his life. So
it wasn't quite that, but it was a long time.
I watched that video and I cry and weep into my Mon Comics body pillow.
That was by far one of the best openings I've ever seen, I think.
Right? It was. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, when it comes to a budget, I like to do two budgets. I'll make one budget where it's kind of the pie in the sky. Like, I'm just going to wing it. Like, let's write this down. How much do I think I'm going to spend on food? Am I going to go to a fancy dinner or whatever? And then, food, drinks, entertainment, the hotel, all that stuff. And then, like, hey, I want to buy these big books. This is about how much they cost. Write that down. Then you got that total number. Then you make another list that's like, okay, well, this is how much I want to cap myself at, like, let's say, just for the sake of an example, like $1,000, let's say. And then you got to look at where you wrote, your pie in the sky list at, and then kind of make small adjustments so that you can kind of get somewhat of the same fractions of each category. So you can still be satisfied in those categories of the things that you enjoyed, but you're trying to stay within that limit of what you can spend.
It's a good way to look at it.
One trick I've done at shows, and I'm like Dave, I don't count like food. That you go to enough shows, like, that's an expense. Like, you have to think of it that way. But I do a trick, whether it's a flea market or a comic show, I put cash in my pocket for that day.
Cash is
I don't go over the cash, right? Everyone wants cash, but like this, I'm not. If I run out of cash, I'm not buying anything more. The problem, of course, everyone takes PayPal, which is just as good as cash in a lot of cases. So that's where you do have to draw a line somewhere arbitrary in the back of your mind. This for the weekend, I can't spend any more than this, but I like the cash option. If you just say, I'm putting $150 in my pocket, I'm going to spend it. If I don't spend it, great. It rolls over to tomorrow. I want to get something bigger, but I like the cash one.
I do this. I have an envelope right there that I have. I will never use a credit card. I will never do Venmo at a con. Like I said, I don't consider hotel and food. Like, I'm going on vacation to see some friends. I'm going to spend that like anywhere. So I kind of take that out of it. But for actual spending at the con, it's cash. If I go past that cash,
that's it.
Hopefully I got some cool stuff.
I'll put a peanut butter and jelly in my pocket. I won't
exactly.
So much so that I will get like a snack and I'll throw it on the credit card.
I do the same
card
thing
because I don't want to go into the money in my pocket. Like, that's how you.
The only time I use a card at a con is for food or something.
Correct.
Even like the weekend going out, I'll put everything on the card. You get points for it, might as well. But the cash is specifically for the show. I won't go past it. I have an envelope from selling comics, and like I've been putting a little bit away. If it goes away, hey, hopefully something cool. If it doesn't, it's just more money I'll have for the next show.
It is just such a relief to hear all the same rationalizations that I give myself. Where like Mike, I buy the soda on the card, so it doesn't actually. I didn't actually spend that.
Doesn't count.
Like, I didn't see it.
There is no judgment coming from this side of the screen. Like we've all done that, but it's just. Oh man, I'm the comic book person in my group of friends, and it's nice to not be the only one who has this sickness. It's just nice to be reminded of that.
It's so bad. I have a little envelope. It's a Lunch Money Comics thing, right? And sometimes it's like in my, you keep your keys and stuff. And my wife, for like, it was like a kid's birthday party. She's like, hey, I need like a $50 bill or $20 bill, whatever it was. Can I take it out of the lunch money thing? I'm like, yeah, but I'm writing it down. And I literally like $20 back to Lunch Money Comics for I was like, no way. And I went to the ATM like as soon as I could.
I have the same thing. There's literally numbers I crossed out how much was in there. Then I added stuff to it. I have to get a new envelope because I'm out of space.
That's it. That's exactly. You write it right on the envelope. You write it exactly. Wow.
Keep a list.
I use I've got a separate account where money goes in from sales of books. So I use that.
That's a good idea.
That's the one. That's the pot that I can use.
That's Monopoly money. That's not real money, David.
So
that's money for comic books. It's great.
You get
sell books
back in. Talking of funny covers, some of the things I'm looking for. I'm going to try and see if I can get an Alf 48.
Love that cover.
Is that the squish?
The seal.
Seal.
Yeah.
Dave, that's definitely on my list.
I've come across that book. I've thought about getting it, but I don't want to talk about it on my channel. It's one of those books like I just don't want to have to explain it. And
you know what? You just put it up and be like, sometimes I'm just gonna enjoy the aquatic life.
Say anything.
I want
to see this
episode of Lunch Money Comics where and I got this. And
exactly. I'll have my kids hold it up for me while I explain it. It'd be great.
Ooh! Anytime you get adult themed books, redo your intro and call yourself Midnight Snack, and you can show all of your books on that.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice. And I'll post them at like 1 a.m. Actually, I kind of like that idea.
You gotta.
Fantastic.
That's your second channel.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow. It is weird when you get those kind of books. Like I literally just showed one off. Mike was talking about the swap. I picked up my first, I guess we're just gonna call it a titty book for the first time. It was a Kevin Eastman cover. So I was like, I can't not buy this. It's Kevin Eastman. So,
Or you wait for someone else's channel.
Throw it up on somebody else's stream.
Yeah.
I'll put it I'll get it right here, Ryan. I'll throw it up for you if you want.
No, go ahead.
Do you want it? I just showed it out right there. Kevin Eastman.
Nice.
There it is.
Yeah.
Are there any like you guys have talked about like the ones that you're trying to get? I'm just curious to hear from you guys because I mean I really like the stuff you guys get. Like who a smaller artist might be, like someone you saw on the list that you were like, oh, like Mike said earlier, like if the line is short, I'm jumping in there. I've got $20 for that person.
Maria Wolf.
Oh, she's great.
Charles Vess. I actually think Charles Vess would have a pretty good line. Charles Vess is I love a ton of stuff he's done. He did in the 80s.
Yeah.
So he's a guy I'd like to actually talk to. And that's it. So that's it too. Like you go in, you get a signature or whatever. The best part of going to those short lines is you have an interaction. You don't feel rushed. Yeah, there are guys like Claremont and Simonson who are old and they'll just talk your ear off regardless if there's 200 people waiting. But these guys, you don't feel pressure to keep the line moving. So there's a couple guys like that. I just want to talk to them and I'll just, hey, that line's small. Let's go have a conversation. So yeah.
And that's the really cool thing about Heroes, which is that like all of the artists are in pretty much one section. It's a big section, but it's one section. If you walk down Artist Alley, you can take a look at people's artwork. And if you see something that you like, you can also see their line. And then you can just drop in and decide. So like it's a good way to discover a lot of different kinds of artists.
It's window shopping.
That's totally right. And there's something that feels kind of satisfying, like with that Hagen, like it's almost like, when you find like a new artist in music or something that you never heard before, and you're like, hey, I really dig this, and there's something very satisfying about discovering that for yourself. So I do get like a commission. I think that it would be in that way, just looking for somebody who I just dig their vibe or the art style, and and I know that they're going to do a cheaper commission, and so that's
what happened. That's what happened with us, Dan, when we
went
to Bobby Breed at HeroesCon.
Yep.
And he just kind of like, I don't even remember how we actually started talking, but
you like this jib.
Yeah, we just walked by his booth, and he was such a personable, like happy-go-lucky guy.
Yeah.
And we had this great like 20-minute conversation with him. And then by the end, I was like, and that's maybe part of his shtick, right? To get commissions is draw people in like that, but it worked. It was great. But then he gave me this, and it was like amazing.
Nice.
I've shown it off plenty of times, but it's yeah, it was, and I was just like super happy with it. And it's one of my favorite things I got at HeroesCon last year. So.
That's like the best part of like shows like HeroesCon or Heroes, to where they have so many artists. Like, yeah, they got the big names like the Claremonts, the Adams, the Finches, but then you literally do some window shopping, and you're like, ooh, I really like this person's style. And if they're not like a super well-known kind of person, it's like, hey, wow, this is very affordable for something I really enjoy, and it's usually like a highlight of a show. It's awesome.
That's what I like about Rohan's sketchbook is like, you can kind of shop around, and it's like a simple drawing that you can just grab from an artist when they're not busy, and it's a fun way to get in and meet more artists that way.
I dig it.
Yeah, that's a Rohan. I love that idea because you don't have to frame them or anything. They were all there. It's inexpensive.
Yeah.
If you ever get nervous giving it to someone overnight when you have like, thousands of dollars of really important sketches to you, like
I only started it last year, and the only one I gave it overnight to was Al Milgram.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I like, because I don't have the room to frame up everything, so it's like my book is just the record of my experiences. And so that's why, again, I don't need.
I don't know. You got a whole ceiling right there.
Well, yeah, in here. Yeah, exactly. And I don't need anything elaborate in the book. I just like having like a good number of sketches in there from the people I've met along the way. So yeah, I think it's fun.
That's cool.
It's a great idea.
That is a cool one. I do the same thing, but I have a tearaway one because I'm too nervous to be like, I don't want to give this to someone I don't really know, where it's money. So I have it to where I tear them out and I'm building my own book and a portfolio.
Oh, yeah.
I
Like does it have a binder holes in it, or how do you stick them in?
It's like a perforated edge. It's like a 9x12 thing. Got it at Michael's for like $10.
Yeah, and so with mine though, like that's why I won't do like I don't do any like setting them up because I can't send my book. And like all the sketches I have for the most part, they literally do on the spot there. That way I can just like hang out with them for like 15 minutes while they draw it, and then I'll grab my book, and then I'm on my way. And even like some like Bob McLeod, who did my favorite one, which is the Nightcrawler one. He was like, I can't do it now, but come back at 3 last year at HeroesCon. And so I came back at 3, and then I hung out with him for 20 minutes while he did Nightcrawler and chatted him up, and then off I walked. So that's kind of the kind of sketches I'm getting in my book.
Nice.
Dave and Hagen, as two guys who've been to Heroes before, are there any hidden or like any insights to the show that maybe like we can't get from the website, or tips or whatever, just from your experiences that you can on us newbies?
Yeah, so queuing is the important piece, regardless of if you've got the get there. It opens at 10, right?
Yeah,
so
something like that.
If you've got a VIP pass or a normal pass, and you're going in, get there at least 2 hours earlier to queue to get in, because if you arrive at say 10 o'clock or the time that's allocated, you'll be at the back of a queue, right? For those of us that have press passes, is slightly different, right? You can get in a lot earlier, and you can get a real sense of it. But I think if you're paying, you've got a normal ticket. My advice is always to get like 2 hours earlier and just camp in the line.
Dang, is it worth though? Like, because you will shuffle in within like 10, 15 minutes, right? I mean, like,
it depends. So if you're looking for books, I think you're fine, right? Just rock in.
Yeah.
If you have a specific artist or you want to get into a queue and you want to get, that's always my advice is getting
I see, like a big name artist.
Yeah, because otherwise you'll miss that opportunity.
But with the press pass, they'll just let you in whenever.
Press pass, you can get in from 7 a.m.
7 a.m.
Oh, beautiful.
7 a.m. So you get to see 7, and actually you can get in the day before, so you can actually go round on setup as well. On the day before.
Dave, if you use the press pass, can you go in, early and queue up at the artist
like hang out before
table beforehand?
Yep, you can do that. But they might not be there. They won't be there. They won't be there. You're just basically putting yourself in place.
You got to wait for them, which is the long part.
But
you
that would be a way to guarantee to get somebody good.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody who's gonna not good, but you know what I'm saying. Somebody who's gonna have an incredibly long line.
Hey, I gotta get a big trench coat, man.
Yeah. Especially if they're
on my shoulders.
If you're looking for a commission from them and they only take so many, right?
In a day, that's the way to play. And also, yeah, you're right as well. Terry just mentioned in the chat, dealers also get that capability too because they get in early because they can. And that's the other thing with that. The other tip there is you can hunt books earlier in those. You can before the actual floor opens. If you see something, you can talk to dealers then as well.
Yep, controversial alert. Hit the buzzer right now. This is that's the controversy, right? I remember a couple years ago, like that was always like the big buzz, right? Like the damn, vendors and the damn, media getting in ahead of us and taking up all the good books, right? Taking up all the good deals, right?
It doesn't matter what show you go to. It's going to happen. And a show like this or Terrificon, it does not matter because there's so much.
Yeah.
It does not matter.
That's kind of what I was going to say is that when I went there, I was a very one-track mind. I had one book that I wanted to get, and it's not an uncommon book. Like I saw a couple different copies there, and if I looked harder, I could have found more. There are dozens of Hulk 181s. There are Amazing Fantasy 15s out the ass. So unless you're looking for something that just barely exists, you'll be able to find it there. And so if you're just going for books, it really doesn't super matter because if somebody grabs it before you, then you just didn't see it. It's not really that big of a deal. If you're going for artists, it's something different. Like it depends on how long you want to wait in that line or how early you want to wake up. But the con floor is a lot bigger than you'd think it is, and it's the right amount of vendors, but it's in a larger space. So it's not one of those sardine can cons. I live in South Carolina. My local con is SC Comic Con, and it's put on by my LCS, Borderlands Comics. I love them. They're great people, fantastic service, wonderful con. It's in too small of a building. There are too many people in there, and it's just claustrophobic. HeroesCon does not have that problem at all.
Okay,
like you can, Nate, you and Eric can sit on the floor and dig through boxes underneath tables, and you will have plenty of room.
Eric and I.
Yes, that's
will.
Those are the ones I'm pulling out.
Save me a spot.
I want to ask Dan something because, like Dan, you said like the vendors and the media. Like, I have a press pass. I am not the media. I am an idiot from Indiana.
Oh, dude, they gave me a press pass too. But you have a YouTube channel, like.
Yeah, but you're Dan of Dan's X-Men Comics.
You have
it's been my dream to appear on a stream with you, man.
Yeah. Do you know how hard it is to make an Instagram account? You're a guy here, man.
Oh man, you guys.
I'm not even joking. I mean, you crack me up. So, but
you're also the co-host of X-Men Collector Chat.
I will say that I feel that
this guy.
We both have a press pass, and neither of us are the media. We're still just like, are we gaming the system a little? Like, is that the thing?
It depends. And there's a big discussion about this last year, and it was why I was on the fence of getting. So I paid for a ticket as well. So I was already in ready.
I bought the VIP, man. I am all in.
Yeah.
But there was some controversy last year where, and this is the thing, I think we're obligated, because you have a press pass, to give them the best coverage you can possibly do.
Okay.
Right. And so that's always my intent. Is like last year I gave them a ton of coverage with no, they didn't give me a press pass, but they still got a ton of coverage. So I see it as an obligation to do that. So I'll be covering the art auction. I'll be covering the show floor. I'll be, trying to come up with new ways to showcase and highlight the event in different ways, because we're all going to be doing it in some way, shape, or form. But I think there were some instances where people went and they did not necessarily do as good a job of that.
I mean, how do you gauge that? How do you gauge a good job, or what's expected, of responsibility?
I think it's
Rohan. It looks like you. I'm sorry, I cut you off, Rohan. You look like really passionate.
No. I'm just gonna say this in general, and this is not necessarily related to HeroCon. There is nothing in this world that having a connection inside can't get you a better opportunity to have a better time at. Like, this is how the world operates. Like I'm not gonna feel upset that I was able to score a press pass and go in. Like, anything you do in life, like, it's the connections that you have in this world that like get you the better opportunities. Like, that's just how life works. It's like, I'm not going to have sour grapes because I got in 30 minutes before someone that didn't get a press pass. Like, it's just, sorry. I mean, that's
I'm not the sour grapes guy.
I know. I'm not going to have, I don't want people mad at me, Rohan.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is just how the
You're
world
going to hear about
like,
this in the
it
comments.
is what it is. Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm jealous as hell of you guys, but I'm happy.
I mean, like,
too.
I don't mean to sound like a dickhead, but like, this is like literally anything you do in life. If you have a foot in the door, you can get a leg up on somebody.
Yeah. That being said, Ron, I agree, but I'm dreading having my pass flip around on the footage because somebody's going to say something in my comments.
Yeah, you got a lot bigger channel than me.
They're going to say that anyway.
I mean, I get that crap, and I always have to be very careful. People ask me to promote stuff all the time, and I'm like, I'll promote it, but you can't pay me. Like, I'll do it for free because I don't want to ever. I also don't, like David said, I don't want to be beholden to, like, I have to do something because of this. The press pass gets kind of close. HeroesCon's great. They love doing this. They give these out to a lot of people, and they're very open about it. But like, and I don't want to put words in his mouth either, Dave. But I've heard Terrificon used to do something like that, but a couple people were counted on doing that, and they didn't really do adequate coverage, and that sort of spoiled it for everybody else.
He's cut it down quite a bit. There's very few media passes for Terrificon.
Right. So that's where, to David's point, you're right. And so I agree. That's the way the world works. But I think I think you feel a certain obligation, and that does scare me a little bit. It makes it different because it's in the back of your mind, right? I would normally do a video on this, but I should probably go talk to this person and show this thing. That's something I think we have to wrestle with, and it depends on what your channel.
I can imagine there are higher expectations for bigger channels, at least from the and it depends. Like, whoever's giving out the press passes, probably some people just don't even care. They're like, hey, I'm just doing my job giving out the press passes. I don't care what you guys, do what you will. But there's probably others that really do want to see that.
I was going to say, like, I've been to Heroes Aren't Hard to Find, the store that puts this con on, and I've been checked out by Carla. And
did you?
I know, right? And she doesn't strike me as the kind that's like, you have 30,000 subscribers. You owe us 5 hours of coverage. It is not that kind of thing. This is good old Southern hospitality, y'all, with like a little bit of quid pro quo.
Let's put it to the extreme example, though. What if you don't have a good experience?
Then you got to be honest.
I'll give you a good example,
right?
Mike.
Press is like reporting your experience. I think you can report your experience. I don't think any of us are going to have a bad time. But if we did, I mean, if I did, I could do it without being like completely. It wouldn't be negative. It would be honest. Like, these are the things that happened that I didn't like.
And it would be after hours wearing a lampshade, not on the con floor. So it's
right. Oh yeah, it's midnight snack.
Yeah. What was your example, David? I'm curious. What are you going to say?
Yeah, a good example was last year. The art auction was a debacle in terms of there was so much noise on the floor. They weren't necessarily handling the bids as well as they could have. It's not a bad experience, but I wouldn't be afraid to comment on that in a video. I'd still do the art auction and talk about it. But if you have a
and like lines, I do complain about lines. Like, and I have mentioned that, like, TrifCon, I'm open. I'm like, I love the show, but when you're waiting in line, it's one thing. When it's long, it's another thing. When the people in front of you have 4 long boxes of books they're having signed, and the con is what limits on it. Like, I was actually going to ask the people who've been there before, do you see that at Heroes often? Because there's so many big names there. Does Heroes step in and say there's a limit to what you can sign? Because that's the one thing that, like, that's like the thing that annoys me the most at shows, and that can completely ruin your day when you're like, the only reason I'm waiting in line for 2 hours is because of that guy right there. And I feel like that's on the
long
con.
box of
I don't think it's on the con as it is on the artist. That's because the con
and the handler or whatever. Yeah,
it's the people at the actual tables. Like, I know Scotty Young, like, he limits his stuff. If you want to do more, get back in line. Like, it should be on the artist. Like, if someone comes with a long box, like, hey man, I'll sign 10, 20 of these really quick, then you back in line.
Right. If you look on that price guide, there's a number of artists that do have their limits on there.
Yeah. I did see that somewhere in the website or on there that I don't remember if it was on a particular artist or if it was more of a general thing, but there was some kind of like cap after a certain amount of books you got to get back in line.
That's how it should be.
I guess what annoyed me the most is it wasn't the people having them signed. There was like, they had a witness doing it for them. They like paid somebody the privilege to stand in line for them. That's the stuff that drives me crazy. It has the feel of like an industrial kind of like, you're doing this for profit. I think that's the ones that really kind of bother people like us. They just want to meet the guy, shake his hand.
There are creators that I've seen where it's like, if you get it personalized, it's a lot cheaper. Or if you get multiples of a single book, it's way more expensive because they're trying to sort of cut down on the. I'm going here with 80. Is X-Men 11 a thing? Is that the Jim Lee one? I don't know. I'm not one of you people.
Yeah. The famous,
the famous cover that really awesome artist did. Yeah. Like you know what I'm trying to say. I think that's a good idea.
It's I know a lot of them charges if it's witness or going to CGC at all. It's an upcharge, which is how it should be, especially if you have a stack of books.
And then there's some that have like specific books, like Rob Liefeld will charge you more for New Mutants 98 and 87, things like that.
Yeah.
That's a really good point on the signatures, right? Because this is my signature behavior changed last year because of authentication. Because I don't want to I'm not getting charged an upsell now. I'll just take it and get it JSA rather than necessarily.
That's how I feel too. I got books signed last year at TrifCon for the first time, and I might one day send them in, but I'm not gonna deal with the trouble of getting someone witnessing and all that stuff. When I do get it done now.
I do wonder though, after they've had JSA for several years, if you will start to see a premium on witnessed versus authenticated.
I think there's way too much volume out there. I think if anything, it comes back to Hagen's point, right? He's looking for a Jack Kirby signature. You're not going to get that witness.
No, for sure. I know for some people you won't. I'm just saying, like, for a number of these artists, I was like, if I'm looking at Stan Lee's a perfect example, right? Like, if I have a Stan Lee witness versus Stan Lee authenticated, maybe in 10 years, that witness signature is going to have a higher premium than the authenticated. I don't know. I'm just saying that's something I think could happen.
Yeah. I guess it would depend on us, the collectors, whether or not we find more value in one or the other. Which currently I don't.
If anything, it's more of a pain.
Like, I definitely.
The process of doing it for sure. I just mean, like, if somebody said, "Here's X-Men, 4 signed by Jack Kirby." Oh, that's a bad example. Jim Lee signed X-Men 1, witnessed or JSA. I don't care. I'll take either or at the same price, whatever. But maybe one day
who knows?
I do want to before I move too far on about what David pointed out about doing the media coverage, like having this feeling of an obligation to do it, or rather, not an obligation, but doing like what you feel you're part of the bargain. I think that speaks a lot to like you have a lot of integrity, and you've always been a very generous guy. Ever since I've seen you just like in the chat, for the first time, it's just you always care about other people's experiences, and you're out there helping people. And I feel like that just really speaks to who you are. Like you hold up your side of the deal, even if there's nobody holding you accountable for it. So good on you there.
That's the way. I think we all do it, right? Like it's. I'm not in. I think when you go to those conventions, half of the fun is to share it with everybody else. It's the way I look at it. So.
That's the point of the conventions.
And to be clear, and I was opening this up for discussion, neither I or I think anyone here would be dishonest in a video. I think everyone is just going to, regardless of what your past says, you're going to say how it is, right? There's nothing to gain, is what my point is, right? By being dishonest, right? And we're all going to have a good time because it's an awesome comic show. So,
and it's
I just hope that anybody with a YouTube channel does more content, because I want to watch all that stuff.
Yeah.
And they're all slightly different. You see different things, right?
Yeah. I love to see the different experiences, but also like be like, oh yeah, I remember when that happened, or I was there too, or something. Like that's gonna be a lot.
That guy crop dusted the whole line.
Sorry, my bad.
Dan's gonna crop dust
so
what
year it is.
The first video on the first day.
I mean, to go back to you guys keep talking about Terrificon, because I feel like this is these are like sister shows, right? So those of us that didn't go to Terrificon were the videos that you guys made like gave us the experience of it, and that was like Mike and Ryan both, like you had multiple episodes to cover it because it was so much, and I feel like all of us kind of can do the same thing. Like this is going to be a long it's coming up, and it's gonna be over quick, but it's like 4 days, and there's a lot there.
Yeah.
But the trick is HeroesCon doesn't have to worry about it. We're gonna milk this for all it's worth. You bet your bottom dollar we are.
I'm gonna try to take it into July.
You're getting hundreds of free commercials. They're gonna be happy no matter what.
The way I've been dragging out my content this year, it might go into August and September, man.
I always have trouble on the last day, though. The last day, I tend to like when it's a 3-day. The first day, great, it's exciting, you do a lot. Second day, of course, the big day. But the last day, you're kind of burnt, and you tend to do less. So you're getting ready to leave. So I'm curious. And actually, hey, again, I had a thought. If you guys don't mind me hijacking this for 2 seconds.
No.
I like to make lists of places I've been. Every mountain I've ever climbed, I have a list. Every museum on, of course, states and countries. And I've been to every state on the East Coast except South Carolina. And Charlotte's pretty dang close, South Carolina. So I was thinking on Sunday, sneaking over to, was it Fort Mill? There's a comic shop there, taking an Uber or something. And layovers don't count. You have to like leave the tree. You have to do something. So I was going to go have like lunch. So I was thinking that would be like the Sunday video, like, hey, I'm getting the heck out of here for a few hours just to go on a little road trip. So that's my plan. I was gonna ask you, hey, if you had any thoughts.
I think I know the comic shops that you're talking about.
Okay.
Because
I might not be open with the show. I don't know.
If Fort Mill is far enough away, it's about a half an hour away. So it's not right there. But no, that would be a great place. There's also in Fort Mill, near that comic shop, there's a great burger joint. I think it's called Hobo's. So go eat at Hobo's and grab a burger and a beer.
That's why I knew I could count on you. Like that would count for me, and that might be my part of my video.
That sounds good.
Me eating a burger.
I could definitely be down with that, Mike.
There we go. All right, this is gonna be
a travel log.
Speaking of food, where's the best breakfast spot?
Yeah, now you're talking.
The Westin. And where am I going to run into this year's Walt Simonson?
Oh my gosh!
I've heard the Westin has a breakfast buffet. You pay for it, but if you put a plastic bag in your pocket, you can fill it with bacon.
That's where you make your money back, is on the buffet.
You guys stay there? Like, does stay there?
So we're talking about breakfast in Charlotte. Charlotte is one of my favorite cities to go eat in. I'll be dropping a detailed list of diners in the group
Perfect.
chat. Should you guys want?
Cannot wait.
Yes.
Okay.
You can count on you, Hagen. This is great.
So
Sweet.
Saturday morning breakfast. That's after the Friday night dinner. That's the plan. That's what's happening.
If you guys can stand. Yep.
I'm in.
So where do the celebrities stay? Like, you know, like that's the biggest draw for HeroesCon is you're in a casino and you're 1 a.m. you're seeing, you know, people walk through. It's kind of cool. Do they stay in the West End or somewhere else? Like put them up somewhere fancy?
I think so.
They
I think
stay in
that's
the West
true.
End, and there's another Marriott across the road.
breakfast with someone pretty special.
Cool.
You're so spoiled by Terrificon. You think you're gonna eat breakfast with Art Adams just because you're at HeroesCon?
Yeah.
Just
I hope we eat breakfast
Hey,
with Art
that
Adams,
would be
right?
You never know.
You can hope.
Yeah. Don't crush our dreams, Nate.
Yeah.
No,
we
I'm-
didn't think last year
I'm
we'd
putting
be eating
it out
breakfast
there.
both days with Walt Simonson, but it happened.
Dude, yeah, we're gonna be so bummed, dude. We're gonna be eating continental breakfast,
Yeah.
stuff in our pockets with gravy, just to save money so we
Gravy
can buy our
is terrible.
comics.
That's where all like the negative comments are going to come in from the videos.
Yeah.
Like, no, it was a great con, but I didn't get to have breakfast with one person. You know,
There's no way a breakfast in the South is not going to be amazing. I'm sorry. Even at a hotel, there's
It's gotta
no
be
way.
pretty good. I gotta find a cigar bar.
We'll be all right. Oh,
What am I?
I'm gonna bring you some cigars, Ryan. I got an old man cigars that I'll bring you.
Is it old man brand?
It was
Little R next to it.
it might as well be. It definitely is like old man style looking. But I don't know cigars at all. I just assumed this old man probably smoked these. So
It's just tobacco that he found on the side of the road, wrapped in the Chicago Tribune.
You're welcome.
I'm from Boston. I'm not worried about the prices in Charlotte at all.
Yeah, same. There's no way.
There's no way.
I'm Canadian. Everything's expensive up here.
We'll see.
I'm from Indiana. I'm gonna need a change of pants like Rich.
Yeah. Oh my God. So, okay. Really brief aside. I was staying with Nate this past weekend, and
We snuggled. We snuggled.
We did. Me and my Charlotte friend were there, and we went to eat at a breakfast spot. And Nate, we told him that we were going there, and he was like, "Oh, they're kind of expensive." And I looked at the menu after he texted me that, and it was 2 eggs and 4 pancakes for $10.99. And I was like, "This guy is going to die in Charlotte. You can't get a meal like that in Charlotte."
That's pretty good.
But, oh man, I'm
Guys,
excited.
I gotta split.
I'm really excited for you guys to come down to like my neck of the woods.
So I almost went Hagen a few weeks ago. Another buddy of mine, Josh of Buzz Comics, is from North Carolina. He does the brewery shows up here, but because he's from North Carolina, he also does them down there. And he offers every year to fly me down and promises me the best, barbecue, on the best, pork barbecue.
I'm staying with him Wednesday night, and he's already said it.
Exactly. Yeah, Dave, you can probably go too, right? But the reason I never do is because, well, it's tough to get away from the kids and all. But this year, I could have done it, but I'm then going right back to North Carolina a month later.
Mm-hmm.
That was a tough sell to the wife. I'm going twice to hang out with friends in North Carolina and eat and drink. So. But maybe next year, yeah. I mean, that might be something I do like annually as well.
Was it the show at, I think it was Cabarrus Brewing Company?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I don't know the name. I don't remember the name of the brewery, but yeah, I almost went. So.
When are you guys taking off on the weekend? I have a flight like Sunday afternoon, so I don't know how much of the Sunday I'm really going to be able to.
I'm driving.
I'm driving back Monday.
Yeah, I'm staying until Monday.
Hey,
I
I
haven't made
gotta
the
roll,
decision
fellas. Peace out. I gotta
Zero.
roll.
We'll talk.
Zero.
Bye, Rohan.
Hey, Ron.
Later.
I did.
Really late Sunday night for me. That's why I also mentioned the whole day trip because I have time to kill on Sunday. Man, it's I think my plane keeps moving later. It doesn't leave Charlotte until like 9 or 10 at night. So I'm gonna be like, I don't know.
Oh, wow.
I think,
Hop in with me and Noah.
I'm there till Monday.
You probably beat me
I
back.
didn't wanna-
Honestly, yeah.
I didn't want to race out all on Sunday, so we're just leisurely driving back.
Yeah, I kind of regret it now. I wish I would have booked something later, but it is what it is now. I won't have that problem at Terrificon. I'll be driving, so I'll just leave whenever I want to leave.
That's so I'm I already told Noah, I'm like, man, we're either leaving Sunday after the con, depending on how much energy I have. If not, you're not home until late Monday night or like early Tuesday morning.
Going deep.
Oh yeah.
Well, guys, it's been a great chat tonight. Sorry for the slight technical difficulties on my end. I literally never happens to me. I was so shocked.
Yeah, press that turbo button.
Yeah, don't
there's
worry.
It happens to every guy, Ryan.
I know.
Every guy.
Yeah.
You'll be
They
happy
got
to
pills
know.
for it. They got
You'll
pills
be
for
happy
it.
to know that we sold your collection for $600.
Oh no!
Aren't you ecstatic?
Are they coming? Oh, wait a second. Hold on.
$600 American.
Matt just jumped in.
There we go.
Oh.
I couldn't resist before everybody went. I just want to say I can't wait to get to hang out with you guys. I'm stoked to hear that Mike is going to come to South Carolina for a change. It's going to be great.
Well, now I got to make a trip. It sounds like this expanded. I might be taking the rest of the week off. It sounds like.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, Hagen, I'm looking forward to actually getting to meet you in person. The only other person in South Carolina that I know that does anything with comics. So it's all going to be fantastic. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited. Super excited.
Yep.
3 weeks. 3 weeks.
It's
Right
really
now
like,
we'll be at the big bar dinner meetup thing. So it's coming.
I can't
that's
wait.
like-
I've had my room
I mean-
booked since January. So
I know we're winding down here, but like the fact that it's 3 weeks away is kind of crazy to me.
Totally.
I don't have I still don't have my head wrapped around it. Like
No.
I'm not ready. Like I have to like this weekend. I'm really gonna like try and mentally just be like, okay, what do I need to do? What
good idea.
You got to make the checklists. That's,
Yeah,
you know,
I really gotta sit down and like just be like, what do I need to bring? What do I need to prepare prior to it? Yeah.
I can't wait for
still
Ryan
finger
to show up
crossed
with just
that
comics.
some like artist that I really want, like a Steranko, gets added, and I'll be like, that's my first stop if it happens.
Oh,
he's a long line. No
Yeah.
matter where he is, he's
And it's
like, you think Claremont and Simonson are talkers? Whew.
But I don't think that'll be a problem. We'll just wheel Mike in front of him.
Yeah, no, not ever again.
Feel the muscles.
Yeah, never again. I will say, unfortunately, a lot of people have canceled too. You got to check the list. So, like, I saw Rick Leonardi, for instance, Ryan canceled.
Yeah.
Oh crap!
And that's changing. Like, I had a whole big list, and like, I've already lost 3
Is
guys.
that on the site or is like?
It's on the site on the on the right hand side.
That's the only downside to a show like this, where there is so many people. It's gonna happen. You know.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, Mike Grell dropped off.
Grell,
Damn it.
Grell was another one. I know.
Mike Grell?
Yeah.
Yep. God.
Steve Englehart
Damn it.
dropped.
Did he really? Damn it. Oh, he's gonna be a terrific con, but still.
Grell was like kind of my number one, to be
Yeah,
perfectly
Nate.
honest.
Now you're not going to HeroesCon. Like, shoot.
I'm
We'll
still
find something,
going.
Nate. We'll find something.
Man,
That's a bummer.
that is a
You know what?
bummer.
Look at the bright side. Now it's just more money for something else that you can get
Yeah,
there.
that's
is
true.
You know, silver lining.
True.
But it was
Now
it
I
was
know
Mike-
I
it
gotta
was Mike
go
Grell.
for Art Adams. That's like my
Yeah,
I think he's everyone's number one.
yeah, he really is. He's done so many like iconic books, you know, iconic covers that like it's not hard for anybody who's a collector to make a connection to him. And he's just unreal. Like his art is so good.
Yeah,
And
it's amazing.
on a recent post, I said his art ages like fine wine, because when you look back and look at it, it's like it really is like a breath of fresh air. It seems so like novel. You're like, I forgot how good this guy is, how clean it is, and different. Yeah, and you never get tired of it. So can't wait to see him. Number one. We'll have breakfast with him. We'll work that out. Here we go.
Oh, let's do it. We're doing breakfast with Art Adams.
There we go.
I can tell you, if we all just
Put it
go to
out there.
Art Adams first thing Friday and be like, hey, breakfast is on us.
100%.
Meet us tomorrow here. I guarantee everybody's getting a sketch.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Pay for
We're gonna
him.
make this happen. I love this.
Venue.
I love this plan.
Yes.
We would like to extend to you.
Okay, wait. Let's take it one further. Let's like not just Art Adams, but anybody you like. Like, you know, if you're willing to foot the bill for the artist, like tell him I'll buy you breakfast tomorrow. Let's see how many we can get
We
Saturday
get,
morning
like,
to join us.
70 artists at
That
a
sounds
breakfast
wonderful, Nate.
restaurant,
That
and we're
sounds wonderful.
all done for the con because we can't afford it.
Every single lunch money envelope is going to be empty.
Right. But I
Yeah.
gotta tell you guys, it would be one hell of a video, or of
It would
100
be
videos.
amazing.
It would be the best story of all time.
I'm not
Every
joking.
time.
I think that's a legit angle. Like, and how much would Heroes love that? Like
I
the
know.
breakfast summit of all these guys that we
Breakfast
love and
summit.
respect.
Yeah, it's every comic book artist and writer from like 1975 to 2009 in one room all together.
And they're all
And
stuffing their
us.
pockets full of
We read-
bacon.
We rent out a banquet hall. It's like a wedding.
I think this is our angle. This is what we can do. This
Hey,
is what
Breakfast
we
We
can
call
give
it
Heroes
Breakfast
Con.
David, start forwarding more invites right now to that dinner. This could be something different entirely. We're in Maple Flip next year. You had enough on your plate. That's awesome.
I love it. That would be hilarious. We could dream. All right, guys. Before we shut her down, I just wanted to, if anybody has something to promote, pump for the next couple weeks on their channels, please feel free to.
Hey,
Me and Chaco and
Thanks.
I tomorrow night on our live show at 9 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to be interviewing Kendrick Lim, Kunka, or however you say his nickname.
Yeah, very cool artist.
Yeah. So that's what I got going on.
I just want to say thank you, Ryan. This was
Yeah,
a ton
thank
of
you.
fun.
Yeah, it was a blast.
I can't wait for Heroes, man.
My pleasure.
I appreciate
I
it.
thought it would be a great little jump start to get us even more energized.
Yeah.
Excited to.
It makes me realize I gotta get my ass in gear and organized.
I've been
Yeah,
geeking
that's-
out the whole show just being on the show with you guys. So it's just awesome, man. I love it.
And again, I'm sure we'll thank him 1,000 more times. But David, yeah, that's huge what you've done.
Oh,
It's a Herculean effort to get everyone together. And
Yeah, still looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
Oh, no worries.
Is there
Eric.
a special invite to that, or what are we talking about?
We have a community meetup drinks at the public house, which is right near to the convention center on the Friday evening. I think it's from 7 till 10. I think is the plan. If
Rich,
you
Rich,
want
there's
to
there's
reach
a
out to
chat.
me
We'll
via.
get you added to it.
Yeah,
Say
just reach
again,
out.
you guys are cutting out on me. I didn't hear that.
Reach out to Dave, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do it.
just
His people will talk to your people.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a chat with about 1,500 people, so you'll fit right in.
I have it muted.
I know you have to.
You kind of have to.
I have Instagram muted completely. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I literally couldn't function.
I'll throw under the bus. Rohan just left. He's like, I can't handle this, and just peaced out. He's like, I'll see them there.
My favorite is Rob. Rob Fat Stacks just berates them every now and again to get the good out of hand.
It is entertaining, but I can only look at it for 1 hour a day, or I get really bad anxiety.
Oh, it's gonna be so much fun. So many people.
Oh my gosh.
It really is. I
Yeah.
can't wait.
Eric, I'll be on your show on.
I will be seeing you Sunday night, yes, at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, for my live Sunday show-off show. And funny enough, it's going to be a Friends of the North. So
awesome.
along with you, we got Uncanny Derek and Matt Likes Comics. So
Nice.
it should be a lot of
What a
fun.
crew.
Yeah,
Great
great
show,
man.
I've been on. I took a little break last month, so I'm excited to get back into it. And it's always a lot of fun because I come up with those games to kind of break the ice a little bit and just have some fun. And then we get to show off stuff that we loved and we picked up in the last month or so. So that'll be Sunday.
That'll be fun. And Matt, I got to shout out Matt. Matt just put out a video about his comic book filing cabinet magnet setup.
Oh, that's right.
Very
man.
good.
Yeah,
If you like that, if you
those are
want to do
awesome,
that in your comic room, check out Matt. Matt is diligent.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I could be that diligent. I'd have to wing it a little bit more than Matt. but his magnet setup was precise and awesome, but also great instruction on how to do it. And
Cool.
shout out to Matt on that. Anybody else? Anything else?
Nate and I have our Sunday show. We're talking to Jason from Renegade Rants. Come drink coffee and wake up too early and talk about comics with us.
On Hagen's channel this week.
Sweet.
Awesome.
And
Mike?
Monday's video, I'm talking about the three men in the basement comic swap. Dave's in that video. So yeah, I guess a couple of gigantic books that you may or may not see over my right shoulder. So.
Yeah. And he's going to buy an even bigger one at Heroes because I'm going to just drive it back for him. So it's fine.
You're such a good friend.
I try to be, I want everybody to have a fun time,
We're all enablers. This is going to get messy. This is going to be awful.
This is gonna be the con that gets me yelled at by my wife. I just know it.
Wells Fargo has a booth where you can refinance your mortgage from the con.
Just stick to the cash is king rule and you'll be okay.
There you go.
Can't track cash. You're fine. I do stuff over at 3 Men in the Basement. We just went live earlier for this. We're going to be doing a bunch of stuff for Heroes. We're doing a bunch of stuff leading up to TerrificCon, our big thing up here. It's been awesome meeting a lot of you guys. I can't wait to meet a bunch of you guys in person because that's my favorite part of TerrificCon, any con, is just hanging out, and I'm excited. I can't wait. It's going to be some crazy road trip shenanigans with me and Broke Boy that will probably make it into a video on mine and his channel. So I can't wait. I'm excited.
And Dave?
I have I have my weekly one. I'll be just doing. I'm doing Marvel 2-in-1s this week. I think.
Cool.
Great
I got a
series.
whole stack of those. So
Great
digging
series.
back to the Bronze Age. But yeah, that's the weekly live stream. We top and tail somewhat. Hagen, Lettuce, and Nate and I. They do the mornings. I do the sort of late afternoons. So.
Awesome. Looking forward to all this great content and the lead up to Heroes. Thank you to all you guys for coming on. Like I said earlier, it was awesome. And
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, man.
And shout out to everybody watching and in the chat. It's been booming. I apologize that I haven't really been able to highlight enough stuff, but it's with 10 people on a stream, it gets a little chaotic. So. and then Wi-Fi issues on top of it. So we'll see everybody who's going to be at HeroesCon in 3 weeks, and we'll see everybody else on the YouTubes and everything else. And hope you guys have a great weekend. And until the next, keep collecting.